Welcome into the Warzone Sports Network. As you can see, we're one member short today because his communication skills are poor, to say the least. That's just the kindest thing that I can say about Michael on the microphone. No, he's out. He's doing his thing. But we do have his picks. We're here. Joe and I will be covering them. We want to know who you got for Championship Sunday. We'll do quick thoughts on what happened last week in that. I was 1 out of 4 or 1 and 3 or however the hell you want to, make that work. But it doesn't matter. I'm excited about tomorrow. There's a lot on the line, and potentially we could end up with a Super Bowl with quarterbacks competing for their first championship, which is always fun for me. If my guy's not in it, then that's what I want to see out of there. And the Raiders aren't in, so it's always a plus. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good. I'm with you. There's one team I'm really rooting for. I don't want to give it away because we'll get to it, but I think we're going to see some good football tomorrow. Last week we saw 4 amazing games. So if this week can repeat what last week gave us, woo! And
yeah. Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, normally what we see is we see a lot of people freaking out, and right away they go, "This is the greatest weekend of football I've ever seen." That really was like the greatest weekend of football I've ever seen, because to have those 4 games be decided in the fashion they were decided in was absolute. Like, every single game came down to it. Now, the 49ers-Packers game was a snooze fest for the most part, but the end, you can't deny the final 8 minutes of that football game. And just like wondering whether or not Aaron Rodgers was done in Green Bay or done with football in general. And that's kind of where I want to –
close. Anytime you keep it close, it was kind of a not well, it was kind of a boring game. Yes, I didn't want to say it, but I'll say it. But it was a 1-score game, and it was real close. And you always knew that one play could turn that whole game around, and that's what happened. And Niner fans got lucky, and they moved on. I want to first, before we start off, Tony, let's say what's up to Timothy. He's in here, and Timothy's already given his predictions. What's up, Timothy? I predict the Chiefs will beat the Bengals, and the Rams will beat the 49ers. Well, let's see if those match up with us, Timothy. We'll be getting to that pretty soon.
but I like it that Timothy came with it, though. What's up, Timothy? Is your team left? Are you a Chiefs or a Rams fan? I want to talk quickly about the Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and all of that stuff. Like, they just let everybody down again. So many people were like, "This is the year." They seem different. How many people? Even I said this. I was last week on the show. I just said it feels like they have a defense. They do have a defense. I just the one mistake I had was that they didn't have a different quarterback, because he seems to always come up a little short in these games, whatever it is. Like, even in games he throws for 325 and 3 touchdowns, he needs 360 and 4 touchdowns, right? Or in this game, all he needed to do was 280 and a touchdown to win this game, and he couldn't get whatever it was. It's just never enough. But I've been going back and forth with a lot of my friends and family, and I really think that Aaron Rodgers is done in Green Bay. Like, I think that there's too many other places he could go and try and have like a Manning, Brady, Montana, Favre, like real resurgence somewhere else for a season or 2 seasons. In Manning's case, I think it was like 4. So I think he's out. I think he's gonna take his mullet, his John Wick costume, to another city. What do you think about Rodgers?
I think he's leaving Green Bay too. I think they're getting prepared for it. But people have to remember, he's not a free agent. He has to be traded.
Yeah.
So, but then we look at the other quarterback that played last week too, Tom Brady. Is he done? Rumors came out today that he's retiring, and then now they're coming back and saying he's not retiring. So it's going to flip and flop. But the fact of the matter, there's only 4 teams remaining, Tony, and they put these 2 so-called great quarterbacks out of the running.
Well, so my thing with Tom Brady is, like, Brady this is a really good way to leave if you can't win a Super Bowl. What we saw him do and the team do, and like the whole game, the way it unfolded, the throw to Mike Evans, you're like, I look at that and I'm like, I will remember that as how Tom Brady did it. Games played all the way to the end and decided by a field goal kicker, right? Like is Brady's career. It's like championship level play all the time. Maybe not for the entire game, just like in the Super Bowl against the Falcons. He was horrible in the first half. He had a pick 6 in that game. And he just stays consistent. He stays like an even temperament and keeps him in the game. I think that's not a bad game to walk away from, because you have to have so many things go right in football to win a championship. You have to have health on your side. Like, look at the 49ers where they're at right now. Have they been one of the best 4 teams all year? No way. But they got healthy at the right time. They started playing better defense at the right time. Like, everything has to fall into place. Even the Rams looked like garbage against certain teams this year, and they're here. The Chiefs, we were contemplating whether or not the Chiefs were even going to make the playoffs. And if anybody tells me that they saw the Bengals here at the beginning of the year, you're full of shit.
Yeah, if you said at the beginning of the year, like, the Bengals were going to be 1 game away from the Super Bowl, I would, like, tell you, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. That's like, no way, because everybody was high on the Browns. You know that. Everybody still had a little bit of hope in Pittsburgh, and then the Ravens are the Ravens. And to come out of that division, the Bengals surprised us. I don't know. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked looking at something. But, Felke, I like the Chiefs versus 49ers rematch. But, Felke, are you guys forgetting the Chiefs versus Rams rematch? Remember that was a Monday night game where it was, like, high scoring and just crazy. What about that matchup?
Yeah, like 90-something points in that game. Goff.
Instead of Jared Goff, you get Matthew Stafford.
And you get, like, Cooper Kupp like a better stage of his career, and OBJ in that game. That game feels like a lot of fireworks to me, a lot more offense than if you get the 49ers in there. I just feel like it could be one of those boring Super Bowls, like the Rams Patriots a couple of years ago, where it was like, well, we're just playing the matchups and we're going to run the football and we're going to make smart plays. Like, I don't want to see that. I want to see erratic, like hair on fire, Super Bowl on the line. I'm going to throw a ball into a window that's this big and I'm going to try and force the ball in there. And I think that's what you would get with a Stafford Mahomes matchup for sure. You get 2 guys that are like, I'm leaving it all here on the field. Lastly, I just want to talk about from last weekend, and we can move on unless you have other stuff. Ryan Tannehill, I keep saying this on all the shows or whoever I talk to. Ryan Tannehill's got to go in Tennessee, and I think Tom Brady might not retire, but I don't think he returns to the Bucs no matter what. I think that's kind of what's happening. I think he's called the Bucs and said, "Hey, I'm not sure if I want to play football next year, but I'm sure I don't want to play for Tampa." And I brought you guys a championship. I have another year on my contract. Let's try to figure out how we can make it work where I don't leave you guys high and dry. And if the 49ers lose this weekend, maybe they work out a deal with Jimmy G goes to Tampa, or maybe they work out with Vrabel and the Buccaneers, or that's his old buddy. He wants some championships with him. Maybe he says, I want to go to Tennessee. That defense is pretty good. I get to play with Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown. Gronk will come to Tennessee. He will. Like, I don't know if Gronk's under contract, but Gronk will just show up at Tennessee and be like, I'm on the Titans this year. They're like, no, you're under contract in Tampa. He's like, yeah, I don't want to do that one anymore. Like, I'm going to do a couple Tide commercials here with some Tennessee whiskey, and me and Brady are going to play in Tennessee with Coach Vrabel.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if Tom Brady is actually done, he's done. And I don't think he'll do anything else. I mean, what is Bill Belichick going to call him up and be the offense coordinator? Can he go be an offense coordinator somewhere?
I don't think Brady's not going to coach. He's not going to assistant coach or whatever. Brady's an owner. Brady's too rich and too pretty, right? But like my point about Brady is that he's going to go somewhere else where everything is perfect for him to have success. One, they need to have a little bit of cap space, or they need to have a fully loaded team. And I think the 49ers, a place he's always wanted to play, I could see him saying, hey, I'll coach up Trey Lance for 1 year if you let me retire and the team that I loved rooting for, and I get to play one season. I get to have memories of wearing the red and gold. Like, I'd be fine with it. I'd kind of like one more year to root against Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the villain of my movie of watching the NFL for 25 years, 30.
You want him to go on that Tom Brady retirement tour?
No, I don't think he would do that. I don't think that he's like that. I think he'd just say, like, I'm doing this here.
Look at what Afix said. What else does Brady need to do? He'd just be playing for pride at this point. He's been playing for pride. And there's nothing more, unless he wants to take the Dallas Cowboys to the Super Bowl. That'd be something.
See, I don't think that it's necessarily like he's playing for pride. I think that he has an addiction, right? Like, I think that it's like there's a fear of the unknown, of whatever it is that you're going to do. And to him, he's almost looking at it like death. Like, what do you do? Like, after this, like, I've loved the preparation, the structure, and now I won't have any of that anymore. And who is Tom Brady without throwing a football? Who is Tom Brady? Like, he's not going to be able to go like, oh, yeah, I was number 312 on the Forbes richest 500 list, and they told me that I'd never make it to number 1, so I'm going to collect a bunch of, oil companies or whatever it is, or a bunch of electric companies. He doesn't have anything to, like, compete. He's got the TB12 brand, him and Guerrero or whatever. They'll build that up. They'll turn it into $1 billion company, and they'll sell it to Walmart or something like that. But that's all he's got, and I think he needs football. I think he's addicted.
Who is Tom Brady without the refs?
Oh, I love it, Felke. Let's take some digs at Thomas Patrick Edward Brady.
Anyway, we're already like 12 minutes into the show, and people came here, Tony. The millions of people turned in right now came here to find out who we're picking to go represent their conference in the Super Bowl this year in SoFi. What game do you want to start with?
Whatever you want. We can go whichever direction you want to go, Joe. There it is.
I'll take this off. We got the Bengals and the Chiefs. Arrowhead Stadium. I think they changed the name. It's not Arrowhead Stadium anymore, huh?
I don't know. Did the PC police come for them yet? They will. I think this offseason they'll be.
I thought I heard during last week's telecast that they were calling it something else. But I still like calling it Arrowhead.
Well, probably the broadcasters are like, we can't say that. We don't want to lose our jobs. Thank you, Omar, and thank you to everybody who has, subscribed. We really appreciate that. It was a number to get to during this football season, and everybody chipped in, helped out, especially last week on the live. So thank you, and the acknowledgement. Let's see.
Because I've been talking a lot of crap for having my team in Cabo, and I still will talk a lot of crap.
I thought you were a 49ers fan. Did I miss something? Who is he a fan of?
I don't know.
I thought he was a Niners fan for some reason. That's where I had it in my head. Larry Fitzgerald is done, Omar. He's done. Andy Isabella is never going to play in the NFL, and Larry Fitzgerald is retired. Like, that was Joe, real quick, the last thing I want to say is if Tom Brady does retire, like, if you're Ben Roethlisberger, you got to be pissed. It's like you're going to ruin my Hall of Fame induction weekend because it's going to be all about Tom Brady. Peyton Manning will show up for Brady. Like, Eli will be there. Maybe even Nick Foles send in, like a replica of his dong hanging out. Like, it'll be all Tom Brady, and then it'll be like a group full of Steelers fans. I didn't see. I still don't see who Afix is. No.
See, I think Tom Brady should have waited till I don't know if I told you this. I thought I texted to you. I think Tom Brady should have waited till late night before the Super Bowl, and then let it out that he was retiring, and then just took up the whole show, and nobody would have talked about the Super Bowl. They would have just talked about Tom Brady the whole time.
See, I don't.
Tom Brady really.
I don't think that's, to me, that's not who Tom is. That's not how he rolls. But it would have been fun. Goodbye, Tom. I am sad because I love to root against him. He's literally cost me thousands of dollars betting.
It was a fumble.
It was. I believe it was a fumble too.
Fumble. So on January 2nd, these two teams linked up in the regular season. Bengals Chiefs in the same stadium that they're playing this game in. The Bengals ended up coming back and winning 34-31, right? They were
Something like
down.
that, yeah.
It was like 28-17 at halftime. I thought the Bengals were done. Jamar Chase had two big old receptions. I wish I knew what they were, but I know they were pretty damn long, right? Or was it just one?
I think he had two. I don't know if both of them scored or not, but I remember he had a couple of them. Bengals were at home that game?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I
Bengals were
think
at
I
home.
see.
My bad. Bengals were at home.
Okay.
The Chiefs went on the road. It was, almost 1,000 yards of total yards, almost 1,000 total yards between the two teams. So they were going back and forth. They were putting up points. They were doing everything that we want to see tomorrow.
See, so that's where I'm at. I don't want to talk necessarily about where teams were before because the Rams and 49ers played each other twice, and that will completely defeat my argument. So I'm not going to go the route that you're going, but I'll say this. The Bengals' strength is the Chiefs' weakness. That's what makes this matchup so intriguing to me, is their ability to throw the ball deep. I was watching a show, and they brought back the thing where one of the DBs from the Chiefs actually said that their weakness was if somebody's going to beat us, they're going to beat us deep. Well, that's what the Bengals do because T. Higgins can go get it and Jamar Chase can go get it. And TJ Uzama traded in his feet that he had for hands. He's actually catching footballs now. If you remember TJ Uzama a couple of years ago, this guy couldn't have caught it if you dropped it in his lap. So he's playing better football. And Tyler Boyd, one of the more underrated slot receivers. Tyler Boyd feels like one of those guys that if he got into New England at the right time, he could have been a more athletic Julian Edelman and like really set things aflame there. But I do like the matchup. I do like what Phil K's talking about here because Melvin Ingram came on, and I think to me, this is where my difference is. Chris Jones and Melvin Ingram, if the Titans got 9 sacks, and Simmons was extremely impressive last week in that game, and everybody on the D-line was, I think Chris Jones and Melvin Ingram could combine for 6 sacks by themselves in this game. Like, Chris Jones is very underrated. I think that's where the difference comes. I think they get a couple more turnovers out of Burrow in this game. Maybe a strip sack fumble, maybe an interception. Hopefully Tyrann Mathieu plays. I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one. I'm going to go 33-23 Chiefs at home. Lots of offense, but maybe a little bit of red zone struggles for the Bengals in this one. Maybe some sacks, maybe some forced field goals. Who you got in this game?
I just looked it up. The last time they played, the Chiefs had 4 sacks. The 4 sacks in that game. Has the Bengals' offensive line got worse since then? It looks like it, right? Seems like it. Chris Jones had 2 of those 4 sacks. So we'll see what's going on. I'm a Raider fan, Tony. I don't like both of these teams. I don't like the Chiefs. I'm tired of seeing the same teams over and over in the Super Bowl. And I want to say that if the Bengals win this game, it's the first time that it's gonna snap some streak of the same teams playing in the Super Bowl like consecutively over a certain amount of spots. I forget what that stat is, but we'll have to look it up. But I'm going with the Bengals. I picked the Bengals when Mike and I did the preseason or the preview to the playoff show before I knew the Bengals were going to play the Raiders. I know. I still picked the Bengals to go all the way. Would it have looked better if they would have played somebody else other than the Chiefs? Probably. I like your score, the 33-23, but for some reason, I don't think it's a playoff game. It's a championship game. I think for some reason, defense is going to show up. And I'm going to say 24-17. How about that? They hold the Chiefs to 17 points.
Okay, everybody. Joe is clearly abusing some sort of amphetamine or something because you think the Chiefs are only going to score 17 points at home in a playoff game. Patrick Mahomes just put 3 on the board with 13 seconds to ruin my Sunday night last week.
You want me to go higher? You want me to go higher?
Yes, I want the score to be higher. Mike had the video. Mike had a video go viral on TikTok of me celebrating like an asshole, going, "Chiefs are done, Bills, baby, Bills," and then just watching football like this, just my head in my hand, just being like, this curly head MFer did it again. Like this
I know.
dude did it again. And Travis Kelce always being wide open will be the biggest mystery of my life. Like I will be laying on my deathbed going like, somebody cover Travis Kelce, please, wide open. Put
And you know
a
the Chiefs
body
guys
on
come
him.
out put 17 up in the first like 5 minutes just to get to me, like.
I hope.
But it's okay. I'll take it. I'm not good at score predictions. I'm good at picking the games. I'm
Yeah.
picking the Bengals.
Yeah, it just felt a little short. Here is Mike's pick. Mike also has the Chiefs, even though he hates the Chiefs with a fiery passion.
I don't know. I think Mike kind of loves the Chiefs, kind of like he loves the Cowboys.
Mike doesn't have a wig and a Patrick Mahomes jersey for nothing. Like he secretly loves Dak Prescott, and at the beginning of the year, I had to talk him out of all this. Like Dak's a little better than Herbert, and I was like, at what? At doing sleep time commercials? That's about it. Doing Chunky Campbell soup, Dan and yogurt. That's all he's
See,
better.
Tony, you're forgetting the Chiefs always match the pace of their opponents.
I do think that the Bengals could get out early, get out to a lead. I said the Bengals would get out to a lead last week. I just didn't know that Ryan Tannehill was going to throw to Ekine Westbrook at the end of the game and ruin that for me too.
Yeah, so
Here's what I really want to happen in this game. I don't like the Chiefs either. I don't want the Chiefs to win. I would like a low-scoring game, which I don't think would happen, where Joe Burrow throws 0 touchdowns for the second playoff game in a row, so I could hear people being like, Joe Burrow, he's so cool, with 0 touchdowns in 8 quarters of football. And the Bengals make it to the Super Bowl, and then they'll lose eventually anyways. But they make it. Joe throws another game with a goose egg in the touchdown column. Patrick Mahomes is at home. His wife and Jackson Mahomes are out sending crazy tweets, starting an OnlyFans account between, brother-in-law and sister-in-law. And they fall apart, and the Chiefs organization completely crumbles. That's what I want to happen, but I don't think it will. Patrick Mahomes is too good, so are the Chiefs.
I had a TikTok go viral lately that I said the NFL has canceled the halftime show and they replaced it with Jackson Mahomes. And people were not happy with that. People were not happy. So there's a lot of TikToks lately. Like, I don't know, people probably, you guys catch on to the trends. Everybody that watches, they know the trends. It says there's only one man that can save us from Jackson Mahomes dancing at the Super Bowl, and that's Joe Burrow. So I'm kind of jumping on that. Like, I want to see Joe Burrow go. I know Charger fans. I know you as a Charger fan, Tony. I know Mike as a Charger fan. Have a little hard. How many playoff wins do each quarterback have? I know. Tony and Mike have a little bit of issue because Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are always going to be compared to each other. And if Joe Burrow can get to the Super Bowl in his second season and possibly win it, if he does win it, that's one step up over Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it's why I'm hating on both of these QBs, on Mahomes and Burrow, because it's all I have right now, because my season is already on to next season, right? I'm already looking at which tackle I want the Chargers to draft in the first round. Like, they need a right tackle. I'm already looking at that. I'm already looking at what teams have free agents that might leave for our defensive line to get to throw some money at in free agency. And we'll talk about it later, but the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl next year. I can't wait to be on that trend all off.
You guys have seen the picks. Throw your picks up there real quick. I'll throw it one more time up there. You guys throw your picks in the comments for this game. This game only, the Bengals and the Chiefs. Here's ours one more time. Tony, with the Chiefs. Mike, with the Chiefs. And me, the lone wolf. I can't say that because they say that on the NFL Network. So
the lone tiger.
Whatever. We'll rip it off and say it. I'm the only Bengal fan here this Sunday. But who you guys got? Let's see what you guys got. Anybody? It would be kind of funny if Justin Herbert went to the Lions. No, it wouldn't.
No, it would be terrible. What do you mean? Why are you trying to take him away from Los Angeles? He dreamed of playing for the Chargers, and it came true. So there you go. Look at that.
Now all of a sudden we got transported to SoFi Stadium, home of the only team in LA, the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, A-Fix with the Bengals, 28-24 over the Chiefs. he just really wants to repeat that old Esiason Montana Super Bowl from
A
30.
lot of people have been saying that.
And then the Bengals.
So I got the people backing me today, Tony. I got some Bengal fans up in here.
Yeah, the people apparently forgot how that Bills game ended last week, where it's just the man can't be stopped. He's a murderer of fun. That's what Patrick Mahomes is. He murders fun. I wanted to see Josh Allen get a home game, see Bills Mafia going nuts, but no, Patrick Mahomes has to ruin everything. Yeah, that's right, Afix.
I can't say it, but I'll put it on the screen.
I will. Fuck the Chiefs. Let's put it on a pillow. Yeah.
Fuck the Chiefs.
All right.
Damn. Felke went the opposite.
That's because Felke is a smart man. I like that he's going bold with the blowout in this one too.
It's done.
I do agree with that. I think the weakness, the difference in this game is the Bengals offensive line. If I went back and watched the other game, I'd like to see how they fared against the Chiefs in that one. Should have been Bengals Bills. Yes, it should have been. It should have been. We got this one. Niners, Rams right here. And I'm not going to lie. I've been down on the 49ers all year. And for them to be to this point is extremely impressive. But I am really, really tired of the narrative that Jimmy G is a guy that you can win Super Bowls with, and that just look at the records and whatever else. Because when I look at the records, I go, oh, well, look at how well the defense plays over that time. And the defense is healthy, and Warner and Bosa, and these guys are making plays. And they got like 7 guys on the defensive line for the 49ers. They can rush with just 4 and get to the quarterback like every time there's pressure on the QB. So I think that needs to be a little bit more talked about is how they're doing that. Debo, he's been sensational. I did see somewhere somebody sent me a clip of him saying how he doesn't watch any other wide receivers because nobody does what he does, so he doesn't need to. In my head, you don't watch other wide receivers to do that. You watch other wide receivers for motivation or like I don't believe that he doesn't watch any other wide receivers. Like, we get it, Debo, you're one of a kind, you're there, but I think things can be gained by watching contemporaries and players from old, and you can become an even better player.
You don't want to give credit to Cooper Kupp and stuff like that. I get it. I understand it.
That's fine. I'm just all I'm saying is in this game, the 49ers, they very, very impressed. They've impressed me a lot. The Rams side of the football, though, you lost 6 in a row. You know how you can lose, you can correct losing 6 in a row, win the one game that sends you to the Super Bowl. Now, if the 49ers beat the Rams 3 times in one season, which I'm not even sure how many times that's happened, I would safely assume it's not happened a lot in NFL history. I just don't see you getting a 3rd win and a 2nd win and SoFi, even though the 49ers are going to have a 50-50 split in the fan base. Yeah. At the minimum, it's going to be 50-50 in this game. But the Stafford chance to get there with all this talent and Beckham kind of coming on and figuring out, how to play, how to get open, Matthew Stafford not being afraid to let it rip. I like that the Rams are pretty healthy on defense too. So I'm going to go with the Rams in this game. They're not going to blow a lead. Instead, they're going to advance it. I'm going to go with, let's go 34-20. I'm going to give you guys 26. 34-26 Rams. And so for me, it'll be a Rams-Chiefs Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, well-deserved, suffered all those years with the Lions. Congratulations. You get rewarded for that. You get rewarded for a decade of playing in Detroit.
Yeah, and of course, everybody knows my feelings on the 49ers. I boo 49ers. Boo 49ers. I'm not afraid to say what I feel about the 49ers. I told you guys. I've everywhere I've been, I've told you. Number 1, I hate the Dallas Cowboys. Number 2 is the San Francisco 49ers. ticket resales are saying they're 70%, 90%. I don't believe all that. So in the first matchup this year, the 49ers blew the Rams out. Second matchup, the Rams were on their way to blowing the Niners out, and then something happened. And like you were saying, this is the third matchup this year. I went back and looked, and I think it's like the 21st time or 22nd time in NFL history that the teams are going to play each other for the third time in the year. 67% of the time, the team that won the first two wins the other one. But as we know, Tony, 67% of the time, it doesn't work every time, right?
Yep.
So I'm rooting for the Rams. Matthew Stafford was brought in here for what? One reason, to get them to the Super Bowl, get them over the hump. Cooper Kupp is on fire. They just took out Tom Brady. They just knocked the GOAT, made his ass retire, basically, right? That's how good the Rams played last week. Like it or not, that's what they did. They made a GOAT retire 1 week, and then they're going to go home and just destroy the San Francisco 49ers. I don't care what you say. Jimmy G hasn't thrown a passing touchdown in the playoffs so far in 2 games. Yeah, you didn't know that, huh? If I got to give you a score, you want me to give you a score? Why not? Rams 34, 49ers 17.
I'm good with that. I am good with that score right there. And it's the same thing I said about the Jimmy G situation. The best thing that can happen for the 49ers is they make it to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, and Jimmy G's trade value goes up. You can't start him next year. I don't care if he does win the Super Bowl. You spent too many picks on Trey Lance, and you need to get that ball rolling on whatever it looks like. The only reason you'd have him on the bench is because you get Rodgers or Brady for a year or two at the end of their career, and they get to sort of train Lance on what it's going to be like to start in the NFL. But come on, Bogart's in here. In Jimmy G's career, he's undefeated in games where he has no TDs. That's one hell of a stat. That right there, Bogart, is the reason he shouldn't be the starting quarter. How fortunate do you have to be to have an undefeated record in games where you can't throw a touchdown pass? Like, we are in a passing league where even everybody's throwing. Even Tannehill, who was disgusting last week, threw a touchdown pass in a game. Like,
remember a couple years ago when they bragged about winning a playoff game where Jimmy G only threw like 6 passes?
Yes.
Like, that's not good. Jimmy G's going to be traded away. He got a team back to the title game, and he might get us into the Super Bowl. His trade value is high, especially with teams in need of a quarterback. And there's a lot of teams in need of a quarterback.
Will you just say what Jason Thomas wants you to say so he'll stop typing that shit into my head?
Raiders!
Oh, my gosh. The worst.
Jason Thomas, loyal Raider fan, here all year long. And you want to get mad. You can say it if you want to, Tony. You're a Charger fan. You can jump bandwagons. You've done it. Charger fans have done it before. Go ahead.
I would never go from. I wouldn't. No, I have no desire to be.
Look, I'm not. I don't think I've been that bad to 49er fans. I just come on and I troll them just a little bit, right? And I talk to them about who's going to beat them down in the week coming up. I don't come out here and cuss at them. I don't call them names. 49er fans have been horrible to me. If you read some of these comments, they've been horrible. So when the 49ers get their ass kicked tomorrow, just wait. Just wait. Because Joe Morley will be here. And I'm going to talk to myself as a third person. I will be on here. Joe Morley will be on here going off on all you damn 49er fans. And I want some apologies.
You know what? I hope they do I hope the 49ers do get smashed. I really do. But I agree with what Bogart is saying here. I fully understand it. They are a run-first team. They are. We're seeing the same thing we saw from Papa Shanahan for so many years, right? He did that, and that's what got Elway finally through his couple times. He did it with RG3, all that good stuff. It's boring football. What we watched in the Packers game and whatever, it's like they take away the vertical pass almost, right? Like, turning Debo into one of the best running backs in football to me isn't that much fun. It's interesting, and I like watching Debo play, but, like, I don't want it. I don't want to see Jimmy G. I don't want to see a boring 13-10 Super Bowl with the 49ers winning or losing. I don't care either way.
The 49ers are like an old school team, right? That's what you grew up saying. You got to run the ball and you got to rush the passer. That's what you got to do. If you do both of those things, you're going to win some ball games, son. Remember, that's how they used to tell you. Run the ball and rush the passer. And the 49ers, they don't have a great secondary, but they have a damn great D-line that gets to the quarterback and helps that secondary out. So, I don't know. If the Rams can shut down their run, I think they're going to do it. Raider fans and Cowboy fans have some respect because we're the most hated teams in the conference. I talk my smack too, but it's all good. Raiders can't even make it past the wild card. The Raiders played the Bengals, who are one game away. They didn't get to play the Cowboys and the sorry Packers. They didn't get to play teams that choked all the time. I'm just kidding. People are not fans. And then, I was talking to a lot of people today, and all the last 2 weeks, people were like, "Oh man, I saw your videos. I'm a 49er fan." I'm like, "Yeah, you are now. You're a 49er fan now. I see all the flag. Tony, you live in California. I live in California. Now we're seeing a lot more 49er flags hanging in cars, jackets, new jackets. I know a lot of 49er fans, and I know a lot of 49er fans before this season. Bogart's one of them, big 49er fan. Those aren't the guys that I attack. I don't attack true fans. I attack these guys that are now 49er fans, now coming out and be like, I've been a fan all season. Oh, yeah? You've been a fan the whole season. I didn't hear one word from you.
On the walk that I take my dog on, and I've walked this path for 2 football seasons now, and I saw 2 new 49er flags up. And I was like, what the hell is this? Where did these people come from? You can't be doing that. I do like Bogart's zig and zag theory right there, right, where he's saying the NFL is all going on a zig. 49ers are zagging with the run. It's fine, but I don't want to see it in the Super Bowl. Tony got the Derek Carr haircut. Yeah, I went from the Patrick Mahomes to Derek Carr is starting to grow some weird mullet, so I don't have a Derek Carr haircut. I have I don't even know what this is. It's age appropriate for a 40-year-old man to have this haircut.
Hey, old Tom, you ain't lying. There's a lot of Rams fans I've seen. It's funny because I guess this would be like the bandwagon bowl, right? So, and I guess that's just the definition of California. They They try to hop on the winning train all the time. But I've seen a lot of videos of people going up to people in LA and be like, "When did you become a Rams fan?" When they moved back. When they came back, I started. Then you're not a true Rams fan. I've been a Rams fan my whole life, but I started rooting for them when they came back to LA. Shut up! No, you didn't.
See, I'm fine with it. I think that there's different levels of fandom, right? So I don't begrudge any of them, but I just don't like it then when they talk about how long they've been a fan of a team, and you know that that's a lie.
See, Bogart attacks the bandwagon fans too. One, because bandwagon fans hurt your own fan base. I'm a Raider fan, and if the Raiders did anything, and say the Raiders go to the Super Bowl, people are going to attack me and be like, "Oh, you're a bandwagon Raider fan," when you know that I've been here the whole time. But they're going to be like, "Nope." Same way with the 49er fans. They're just certain fan base. They're just certain solid, faithful guys. And then there's the other people that are just hopping on. They threw their Buccaneer jerseys to the side now. They threw on a 49er jersey.
There's Joe reading a fairy tale to his kid again. The Raiders in the Super Bowl. Here's some shit that's never going to happen.
Madden right now. They won.
They won the Super Bowl in there without a coach? Who's on the sideline?
It was on easy mode. And we went to the Super Bowl, and won. The 49ers had me move down to Southern California. That way we could purchase the tickets. Hey, have you seen the ticket prices for that game? Holy crap. I signed on as, just to sign on and see if I could to get some cheap tickets when they actually went on sale at 3 o'clock last Sunday. For the very top section, 500 section, it was like $600. I was like, nah, screw that. Now they're up to $2,000. And then I just read an article that says parking down there is going to be $500.
Oh, man. They're gouging these people.
So imagine 2 weeks from now, the Super Bowl's played in the same arena. Imagine that.
Oh yeah, I should Airbnb my house for that week. Hey, let's go back. We're not skipping over the smooth show that fast. Thank you.
I try to just go whoop whoop.
No, the smooth show.
I try to just go right over it. I think it's fine if you're a fan of one team and then you have teams you like as well. If you have teams you like as well, but no, you don't go out there and buy gear of that team and act like you've been rooting for them the whole time.
No, I do. I'll show you. I'll send everybody a bandwagon starter kit on all the things you need to do.
Hey, you didn't know anything about football until this season, and I'm glad you hopped on the Cowboy bandwagon.
Put some old posts in there, timestamp them like 4 years ago with a memory.
I'm a Niners fan in Wisconsin, and I think I just hopped on 2 years ago. JT. I forgot about JT Sullivan. O'Sullivan. Remember him, the old quarterback, the quarterback for the Niners?
Kind of like for a minute, they had a real run. The people forget about this too. Like if you're a real 49ers fan, you sat through some real stinkers after Jeff Garcia, right? Then there was like sort of a little bit of like Elvis Gerbaki thing or whatever. But then there was like a run of just like awfulness until you got to the Jim Harbaugh era. Like even when they drafted Alex Smith in that draft, it wasn't good. It just wasn't good until Colin Kaepernick came back, and then they've been off and on good for a few years now. I appreciate this. A lot of participation. A lot of people in the chat on the show.
Raiders should go after Harbaugh. I don't know about that, but I'm not happy with. Bogart is actually trying to convince me into liking Josh McDaniels, so I have to do a little bit more research on it. So Bogart's actually trying to convince me to like Josh McDaniels more. They say it's the highest grossing playoff game in NFL history based on their. I'm sure it is. I've looked at the ticket sales and I'm like, holy crap! Like it's unbelievable to see the prices of these tickets for Sunday. It's unbelievable, and this is an NFC Championship game. This isn't even like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, people be using those stimulus checks, tax returns, getting out there. Got to go see my 49ers, get it put on them by Matthew Stafford, the great.
So you're saying that I could do my taxes, do the tax returns, and then just tell them to send me playoff tickets instead of my refund?
Yeah, well, you could go to like JG Wentworth and get like a forward on your amount, go to like one of those payday lending places and just be like, here's my tax return. They said the government will have it direct deposited within 7 to 14 days.
I just pulled up Ticketmaster. This is the Ticketmaster NFL ticket exchange. So this would be exchanging with either season ticket holders or people that have the tickets already through NFL. Section 532, row 9, $500 each. That's the cheapest ticket right there.
It sounds like you're sitting on the roof right there. That ain't even a nosebleed. That's like you got to wear like a special helmet.
It's in the very top. It shows that it's in the very top in the corner of the end zone. So you have a corner view of the end zone at the very top for $500 if you want to do that.
See, I don't understand that shit. I got 60 inches of TV. I got a wide open bathroom. I got a freezer full, like food, fridge full of booze. Why would I want to leave right here? This is what I don't understand about going to sporting events. I go to a game a year, and I'm always like, it's good, right? I went and watched Kyler and Stafford. It was fun.
Tom, you don't want to know his opinion on Brandon Staley.
Oh, dude, I'm done. Fire him.
Hey, A-Fix. I went to the last Chip Kelly game in San Francisco. It was San Francisco versus the Rams. Went to overtime, and I think the Rams won. And Chip Kelly got fired as I was driving home. I remember listening to it on the radio that he got fired.
Chip Kelly, I feel like he gets a lot of jobs and a lot of success based on the name Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly. Who's coached us? Chip Kelly. It sounds like a fun name. Like
Chiefs versus Rams Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Hey, we were just talking about that. The last time the Chiefs and the Rams played, Jared Goff was a quarterback. It was like Almost 100 points scored.
That game was supposed to be in Mexico too, and there was like a Shakira concert, and her hips didn't lie all over the field in Azteca de Mexico or whatever, and tore the field up, and they moved the game back to the States, and that shit was fire. Like, I was jumping off my sofa. It very much had a feel like the Bills-Chiefs game did in the fourth quarter, where it was just like, Gabe Davis, Tyreek, like everybody was just going back and forth. I can't believe I just compared Gabe Davis to.
I've always made the argument if we drafted Aaron Rodgers and not Alex Smith, Rodgers still would have been on his back like Alex Smith with that battle. Yeah, and you never know how much Rodgers actually learned from Brett Favre. Like, sitting all those years, you never know. Like, was Aaron Rodgers that good just coming right out of college? He could have started day one?
No.
We'd never know. We'll actually never know. I did. Hey, Bogart, so you are. Did you see that? Did you see that thing by Mike Singletary talking about how he denied a veto to trade for Ben Roethlisberger back in the day when he was the coach? He said that he vetoed a trade. I didn't see what the trade parameters weren't there, but he said that Steelers called the 49ers. They had a trade worked out, and Mike Singletary was the coach. He said, no, don't do it. I want some high-quality, high-character guys.
Well, I can't say that I fully disagree with the man right there. But
he's solid.
It's funny because he's famous for saying, I want winners, but yet he only had losers. He goes, if I can go back, I would do it again.
What's up, underrated Chris? If you guys are going to be on for a minute, shoot me a link. I have to actually go because I told my kid I would watch the Royal Rumble with them, and I'm already like 20 minutes late.
Yeah, no, and I'm supposed to be taking my daughter shopping for a birthday present.
But hey, Bogart, we need to get you on. Even if the 49ers lose, we got to do something next week. Me, you, and Tony can work out a time, and we'll do something.
Wait, if they lose or win? Either way, who cares? I'm down to sit down.
Yeah, I don't care. Bogart can come on and talk about the loss, or he can talk about the win. Either way, he'll be an awesome guest to have on. Yes, Ben. Everybody forgets about Ben's allegations because of what it was early in his career, but
I don't think we don't forget about it. Like the people that are older, right? There's obviously younger people who are like, "Hey, what happened?" But for me, it's not that I forget about it. It's that since nothing was ever fully substantiated, then I just sort of like, what's the point? Like, am I just supposed to hate the guy? It's like my wife loves Tyreek Hill. I could easily tell my wife about what Tyreek did to his son, and she would automatically hate him because like child abuse is like her number one soft spot. That and animal abuse. She watches sad dog videos. What the fuck are you doing? But I could make her hate Tyreek Hill by just telling him one bad story, but I don't. Like, I just feel like I'm here for entertainment, and if it's not current, I just kind of want to move on. Like, if they didn't, I don't know. It's a weird situation.
I wish I could answer all you guys' questions. I know underrated Chris is asking us about Brady retiring. Woo, thank the Lord. It was a fumble, but get out of here, Tom Brady. You're asking us for the steps for the Chargers and Raiders to win the division. Trust us, guys. We're going to have a lot more content on this channel. We're going to go through each team individually through the offseason, so please do that with us. Let me know.
Tom, Chargers are winning the Super Bowl next year. Offensive line, defensive line addressed in free agency, and it's over.
So we just booked Bogart. Bogart said he'll come on, win or lose. So I'm glad about this. Let me show you our picks so you guys can see Mike's on there too. Of course, we're all going LA Rams. Every single one of us. You can take a screenshot now so you guys can use this against us if the 49ers win. It is what it is, but that's what we're going. Matthew Stafford got traded to come here for a reason. Anything else you got, Tony? I know. No. Man, these chats are crazy. I saw one last thing about somebody asking us about the overtime rules. Do you think that both teams should get the ball no matter what?
Yeah, I did. I saw that question there too. I do. So really quick, this will be the last thing I say, and then you can wrap the show up however you want. This is how I would run overtime. That game ended with a field goal. Now, naturally, if the game ends in a tie, then just go to a fifth quarter. You can make it 10 minutes, but then the Chiefs should have been kicking off, and you just play out the next 10 minutes of the football game. Like, there doesn't need to be this, we need to come out and have a coin flip. It's like whoever ended it. If the game ended with a tie and the Chiefs had the football, then they just maintained the ball there. It just rolls over into an all-new quarter. It's not like, oh, we're going to restart a football game after 6 hours in. No. We're just going to add time onto the clock until somebody wins, until time runs out and somebody wins the game. And we're done there. We can even, if you want to say a safety rule, we could remove kickoffs and just say, when a team scores, the other team just gets the ball at their 25. So we can take out a little bit of the collisions and stuff like that, but we'll leave it there. So yes, I think overtime in football is done poorly and done wrong. I don't want both teams getting the ball from the 25 or forced to go for 2 points. No, just put 10 minutes on the clock. Whoever had the ball at the end of regulation or should have had the ball at the end of regulation, that's just how we start quarter number 5. Boom, done, solved it. I just solved the overtime rule in the NFL.
Tony, send that into the NFL, clip that, send that in.
Yeah.
Bogart, thanks for showing up and telling us with a great show. You know what I'll do? Bang, 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 bang. Right, Niner gang.
You just sounded like a Vato who just got released from prison. Bang, bang.
Hey, okay, but we've always joked about like when somebody gives you the wink in the gun or the 2 guns.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. I mean, it's funny. Cowboys are doo-doo. I love that. That's how we're going to end the show, with the Cowboys are doo-doo. All right, so we'll see you guys. Have a great Sunday. Hope the games go good. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a great rest of your Saturday.
Appreciate y'all.